This episode is sponsored by Podcorn. Are you a podcaster? Do you want to make money for your podcast? If so, join Podcorn. It's a marketplace connecting podcasters to sponsorship opportunities such as host read ads, interview segments, topical discussions, and more. You have full creative control and your brand will always be protected. Sign up for free now by clicking the link in my show description notes, or you can go to podcorn.com.
This is your girl, Cerealis.
Hi, I'm Markia.
And this is Bitch Let's Talk. So, for Pop Tart World this week, Erykah Badu, who is like everything to me, she ends up selling her Badu pussy. I think it's Badussy. How do you say that? Badussy? I don't know how to say that.
I'm not sure.
It actually sold out in 19 minutes as soon as it went online. She was selling it for $50. I didn't even know when it actually came out. I heard about it, but I didn't know.
I did hear about it as well. I'm kind of mad that I missed it, though, because I stand.
I definitely do. But I feel like it's going to be like a psychedelic. I feel like her pussy is like a shroom.
The way it's trapping people.
Exactly.
Trap, so.
Listen, she had Common in like a knitted scarf. I've never seen anything like that. Like Andre 3000 was like in high water pants and like patent leather white shoes.
To be fair, that was his style prior to her.
No.
Yeah.
It wasn't that insane. It was getting there. But her pussy definitely
put it over the edge.
It definitely put it over the edge. So she actually said that it was created from burning her own underwear, ricin and sun-dried something of her. It's the ashes of her underwear.
So is this like the underwear that she wore from the exes and now she just like burned that shit because I'm fucking y'all?
That would be dope. But then I think that's voodoo.
I mean...
Doesn't she practice though?
Is it everything?
Yeah, well, true. I thought she was a 5%er, but tomato.
Don't come from me.
I mean, I love her. I just never heard of anyone making incense out of burnt drawers.
I love incense, and I would buy a $50 incense. I would buy drawers, underwear, incense. I'm here for that.
If it smells lovely, I really want to know what the side effect is.
As long as the drawers don't smell like BV.
Yeah, no, we
Wait.
don't want that.
No,
We don't want the
no.
yeast. Yeah, that's
Well,
never
if you
a good
buy
look.
scented underwear, then expect to get.
Wait, who
BV.
wears scented underwear?
Yeah, is that not your thing?
No, it shouldn't.
No, I mean I know people who like spray down there, but I
No,
didn't know
they
they come
shouldn't do
pre-made.
Right.
Well,
Given what we know now.
Given
Okay.
what we know now, you know that's
Yes.
gonna throw things off and make it worse. But I didn't know they had pre-made scented underwear.
No.
If they do, if you're wearing pre-made scented underwear, please stop and
Please.
throw them away. You probably have multiple yeast.
This is for our young women.
Multiple yeast infections. It's not worth
lack
it.
of knowledge.
So Gwyneth Paltrow actually did the same thing, and she has a candle. It's called "Smell Like My Vagina," and I think it was selling for $75. I've never had any interest to know what a white woman's pussy smelled like, and I don't think I ever will.
Not a one.
But I am curious to know what it smells like. I need someone to tell me what it smells like. I actually don't want to
Paper.
smell it. You think her pussy smells like paper?
Paper and wheatgrass.
I get the wheatgrass.
Or mayonnaise and wheatgrass.
Oh no! That's first of all, wheatgrass is the nastiest shit I've ever had,
It's terrible.
and you have to take it as a shot. If you don't take it as a shot, I can't. I
It's
just
kinda
can't do it. So I think the incense come out March 10th. So anyone who like pre-ordered, please let me know how Erykah smells. Not Gwyneth. I don't care. But I am kind of curious what Erykah Badu smells like.
I need to
And take a video of it because I want to know like what euphoric experience you're going to have. Cause she's different, man.
What if you burn that while you're with your partner?
Would it make you have like great sex?
I mean, possibly you could end up pregnant the next morning.
See,
No, thank
no,
you.
no, thank you. Definitely not gonna burn that shit. So on to more interesting news. So the show Friends is having a reunion special that's going to be on HBO Max, which is HBO's like new streaming service that's going to be coming out in May. So allegedly every actor that is going to be on this reunion special is going to be all the original people. They're going to be making about $2.5 million for this reunion.
Wow.
I don't even know how to feel because I've always been a living single fan, and it just makes me sad that these black women will not have the opportunity to ever have this type of success because of the show, which
It's
was
like
the
a
blueprint.
continued dig at
It's like it does. Yeah, like how many years ago? 20, 25? Like it doesn't end, and they refuse to do anything like make a reboot. They're not part of like the reboot thing that everyone else is doing.
But
Like,
who was refusing?
you know who's in charge?
Who?
The whites that's in charge of the network.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
okay.
network is refusing to.
Just like they
Even
won't do it for
consider.
girlfriends. Like those are the people with the money who can fund these projects, and I think it's
Maybe we should just call Tyler Perry.
Yes, that would be great
no.
idea.
And I love Tyler Perry, but he wants to write his own shit.
No, we just gotta use his studio.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
yeah. Who got the money to rent out Tyler Perry's studio?
He gonna give it to us for a discount.
We need that family hookup.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely need that. So,
Good stuff. Good stuff.
I mean, I'm not a hater. I mean, if you know, I was never a big fan of Friends, but I do love the theme song. I'll be there for you.
Girl,
That was my shit.
The theme song. I don't know the characters. I don't understand the plot.
I just know Jennifer Aniston,
Courtney Love, Courtney Cox. Who was on there? I don't know.
Courtney Cox. Yeah, she the one that married
care
Dave
less.
O'Cat. Yeah.
Sorry.
And who was the one that
It's
said they
actually
need
hilarious, but you know,
Who?
who was the guy from
It's
Friends?
hilarious. It is.
I never watched
Who
it.
made the comment that they need to do a black version of Friends?
It was like a producer, and we're like, sir, it's already been done,
Yeah, it happened like in the 90s.
and it was amazing.
It really was. Shout out to Living Single if y'all want to watch it. Like I think it's
I
on
just
Hulu.
watched. It's on Hulu. I literally just watched
Yes.
the entire.
But it
season
still
again.
comes on Living Single, so maybe that's why they. Well,
But yeah, they're
Friends
not getting
does too.
$2.5
No,
million
they weren't.
Yeah, no, they're
per
not.
episode. They weren't even
This is
making
true.
money even when the show was doing well. Like once Friends like went into play, like their production just shut down completely,
A
which
lot
is
of
just
cast
ridiculous.
of the show is like doing interviews recently,
Mm-hmm.
and they all say that they had like one of the most I guess like more ghetto studios. Like girl, they said the studio didn't have no air. A lot of times it was just like hella malfunctions.
Oh.
And it's crazy that we have to work under those standards. I mean, but we're still great.
Exactly. You still was able to
But you have
create
to work
great
with that
content.
kind of trash. But
Yeah,
Good
unfortunately. So, I mean, if you guys are interested in watching Friends all over again, it will be on HBO Max in May, and then like the whole catalog will also be on there as well. So, on to that.
Tomato.
Whatever. So Whitney Houston is set to appear on a concert stage again. Yes, she is dead. She did not come back to life. So after 8 years, she has been gone. They are going to do a holographic show of her being on tour.
like it.
She's starting February the 25th in England, and she's going to make her way to the U.S. So it's going to be Europe, Mexico, and North America. My issue, I don't want to pay to see a hologram. I don't give a fuck who it is.
Yeah.
So they
I agree.
did this with Michael Jackson. Y'all remember that?
Yes.
And
Did he
it's
go on
trash.
tour? Was it a tour or was it just like that one show?
I think it may have just been that one show, but I didn't like it. It was bad.
Didn't they do something with Tupac or something?
I just think it's kind of disrespectful. Like, can we literally leave the
Yeah,
dead?
let them rest in peace.
Their
literally.
spirit lives in the music, so I don't
But not
need.
through the hologram.
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah, and if you actually see the hologram, it looks horrible. Like it does not look like Whitney Houston whatsoever.
Not at all.
It looks like Cedar's World. If the millennials remember that show from BET, the graphics look like trash, and we're in 2020. There's no reason why that you can even make the person look like her.
Cedar was dope though.
Cedar, that was my bitch. I used to faithfully watch the show after school.
She had a badass shortcut.
She did have a badass shortcut and a badass short skirt. I used to love her little outfits. Yeah, Cedar was that bitch. They need to bring that back. That was my. But nobody watch music videos anymore, so
No.
yeah, it's not going to be the same. But yeah, she's going to be performing "How Will I Know," "Saving All My Love for You," and our favorite, "Always Love You."
Don't say she, because
Okay.
she's not actually doing anything.
I want to know how much these tickets are going to cost to see an illusion.
I want to know, is the remaining family benefiting from this?
Probably not.
I
Just
was
like they did
wondering
like
that
1,000
when we were-
movies.
I was wondering that. Who is the remaining family? Like, who is going to get...
Cicely?
Her mom?
Not Cicely. That's not Cicely Tyson.
Her mom.
Yes, her mother. What is
Didn't
her
her
mother's
daughter
name?
have a baby, though? Didn't she?
No.
No, she didn't?
And everyone's gone. That is so horrible.
Girl.
Maybe Bobby Brown? Does he still have rights to her? No.
He don't need a right to know.
Yeah.
He ain't got the right to do shopping.
The mother is still alive. And
Her
no.
mom is alive.
Who's her godmother? Isn't her godmother Diane Warwick? Did she pass?
Dion?
Dion.
What did I say?
Diane. It's okay.
Diane, Cicely Tyson. You know, they're all great black women.
Rest in peace, Walona.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's all I can say. But yeah, I actually don't know who her family tree is.
That kind of was it. She only had one child.
But if you can make movies without them, I'm pretty sure there's a loophole for making holograms. Because Lifetime and like 3 other people made like 5 Whitney Houston movies in a span of like 6 years. They were all trash. And they couldn't use the rights. So I'm like, how do you make a Whitney Houston movie and you can't use any of the music and she's a musician? What is the point?
Where there's a will, white folk will find a way.
Yeah, well, it's trash anyway. So, anyway, for our Black Magic this week, since it is Black History Month, I decided to name some people that we normally do not talk about in Black history. You know, shout out to the Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King and Harriet Tubman, but there are some other people who have contributed to the United States outside of those people. So first, we're going to start with Rebecca Crumbler. She was born in 1835. She is the first black woman to ever be a doctor, a physician doctor. She completed medical school at the New England Female Medical College and received her MD in 1864. Crumbler, as a teenager, attended the West Newton English and Classical School in West Newton, Massachusetts. And by 1852, she was 21 years old, and she was living in Massachusetts, and she worked as a nurse for 8 years. When she enrolled in medical school in 1860, she was the only black woman amongst 54,000 white women who was attending medical school. And she was actually accepted on a tuition scholarship, and it was from an abolitionist. His name was Benjamin Wade, and she was able to graduate March 1st, 1864. And after that, she actually made a book in 1883 where she published a medical guidebook. It's called Book of Medical Discourses, and it is to believe that she is the first black female author who created a medical book. And she gave mostly her care to poor women and children. So thank you, Rebecca, for creating that space. You know, I have doctors in my family, so if it wasn't for her, I don't even know what kind of struggle.
Can you imagine being
the only one? And they didn't want her there. They fought against it. The white people protested against her from going to that school. But luckily, it was a good person who was able to fight for her to be able to attend. So, next person is going to be Lisa Galopter. I did it. She is actually a computer scientist. She is actually the woman who created the GIF. So all the GIFs that we send on our phones, she's actually the creator of that. She has worked on several pioneering internet technologies, including Shockwave, Hulu, and she also worked with entrepreneurial startups. Whether it's large or small. She has worked in the White House for the U.S. Digital Service, as she served as a Chief Digital Service Officer for the Department of Education. She also was a Chief Digital Officer for BET Networks, and she was on the senior management team when Hulu first was rolling out. So the technology that we use right now, she was the person that helped pioneer and start that, especially with the GIFs that I use consistently to express my emotions.
love a good gift.
It's so funny. It's like I don't have to say any words. I can just speak to you in GIFs.
I don't want to have a conversation with you through text if you don't like to use gifts. Like, I feel like you're very uptight. But in addition to that, I think it's super important to mention that more and more black people are moving into tech.
Yes.
And there is a space for us there, so yeah.
Yes, especially women in STEM. It needs to be a larger conversation. Mm-hmm. I know we're teaching our young girls, but, you know, even as women, you know, learning how to code, learning how to do certain things, like, please don't shy your children away from that, because in the digital space that we're evolving to, we need more people of color to be able to control that narrative and how we use technology.
Absolutely.
So for our last one, it's going to be Thomas Jennings. He was born in 1791. He was the first African American to be granted a patent. In March 1821, that's when the U.S. patent was granted to him. In his early 20s, he became a tailor, and he was the one who had the idea of dry scoring, which is now known as dry cleaning. So he was the first black person to have his own dry cleaning business, and he was the first black person to ever patent that. So no disrespect to the Asian people who owns the dry cleaning business, but we were the ones who invented that shit.
I mean, duh.
We were running a lot of shit. So, and then after he passed away, Frederick Douglass actually wrote about him, and he talked about the importance of black people owning patents and how it's very important to have inventions and being able to protect that. So thank you to all these wonderful, wonderful black people who have contributed to pushing the needle, moving the culture, and be able to go into an evolving space. So thank you so much for that. For our panel discussion for this week, before we get started, I wanted to introduce some wonderful women. We have Steph and we have Keidi. Hi, guys.
Hello, ladies.
Hey.
Thank you so much for joining us. I thought this topic was very important. So it's called Phat Girls versus Lizzo. And before, I don't want people to think we're shading Lizzo, but I think there's a conversation that needs to be had about bigger, thicker, curvier woman.
Yeah.
So my question is, like, what would you prefer to be called?
Murky.
Okay.
That works.
I mean, as an adjective. If you were to describe your body type in a space that you felt comfortable, what would you call yourself?
I say thick.
Thick?
Yeah.
I'm definitely thick.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think thick is fine. I hate the word BBW. It always reminds me of porn.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, it definitely probably was created by a man. which
Definitely.
For sure.
has a very sexualized like
Connotation to it.
right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah, no. I don't mind curvy either. Like, curvy is cool. Like, I don't mind that, but I don't really hear people saying, like, hey, girl, you so curvy. Like, I really don't hear
because
that.
it's coming from men.
I mean, even if it comes from women, I don't hear a woman say, like, hey.
But even if a man says you're curvy, how would you feel?
Is that corny?
Yes. It's corny. It's like questionable.
Yeah. What about big girl?
No.
No.
You better not.
Like,
You better
sir,
not.
You have not a chance in hell if you. utter
No.
those
Hey, big
words.
girl.
How about healthy?
Healthy.
Healthy.
Yeah,
Nope.
you looking healthy.
No.
Because I could be like, you looking malnourished
Okay.
and hungry.
And
mean,
very
so-
hungry.
You know, every man's all they're just gonna say is, "Damn, girl, you thick."
See, that's very
like
that's
that.
very true as well. Like, being thick is, I guess that's the cultural norm. I don't like full figured either. That just sounds like something like in Dress Barn. Like, I don't like that. I feel like that's what you used to call women, like, back in the 90s where we didn't have space. But yeah, I guess I can do thick. But even that, like,
I think it's acceptable.
yeah, I guess. Even that can have a connotation, but I guess if I had to choose, then
Yeah,
Yeah.
if I have to put myself in any category.
right. But then I'm interested in knowing what white women are called, because I feel like in our culture, it's okay to be thicker, and for them, they're so used to being skinny. You know, that's the mentality. So it's like, I can only imagine what they get called. I think is
Nothing
positive.
You know.
Probably fat, sloppy. Yeah, I would go to.
I I don't know.
If somebody called me a lard ass, I'm fighting. You know what I mean? Like, I'm making a phone call to somebody. Like, you straight up disrespecting me. Like, lard? Like a pig, bitch? Nah, nigga. We're fighting.
They don't have anything that kind of like makes them feel proud about their size.
They don't. And
because their culture is like very, very focused on being as
small as
and
possible.
Thin, unless they take the option of taking all the assets of a black woman and pasting it on themselves. Insert Kim K and her whole family.
But is that? I mean, she looks like a popsicle.
She does.
Like
she
a
absolutely does.
or a lollipop that's upside down. Like, you know, you don't have the legs, but you have that big ass curve. So
like a little ant.
yeah, yeah.
Like an ant with a pamper.
But she's not.
Wiffle pamper. Damn.
It's even that much more.
Right.
But
She has
I
extra
hate to
padding.
see black women do that to themselves. Like that just, oh my God, it grinds my gears because I'm like, how are you able to feel comfortable with distorting your body that much when you know everyone out here is trying to emulate who you are, literally?
So let's talk about that. So growing up, what was it like for y'all? Because I know personally for me, I've been thick my whole life. I mean, I'm not as thick as I am now when I was back then, but it was very not normal for me to have the curves that I did at such a young age. And I think it has something to do with me coming on my menstrual really early. I started sprouting out boobs when I was in the 5th grade. You know, so it was just very different where like now everybody's like, yes, bitch, give me the thighs, give me the ass, give me everything. It's like when I was growing up, it was like, oh my God, you're like morbidly obese. And I was like, I actually wasn't. Bitch, I wish that I had the body.
Don't you wish you was the fat that you was when you was 14?
Let me tell you.
Okay.
Body was snatched up to the gauze. You tell me.
Hello?
Not a stench of cellulite, not a stench of a stretch mark.
Try it now.
So how was it for y'all?
Pretty much the same. I remember having breasts, like large breasts, and in like the 4th or 5th grade, girl. So I was raised by my grandparents, and my grandmother took me to JCPenney, honey, to get the old lady bra. That's how I felt like I knew that I had like bigger breasts than most girls,
right?
Because I had to get the old lady bra early. But even back then, it was a thing to like to kind of like be ashamed about the body that I have now. Yeah, you know, absolutely. And it was because society made it that way. I mean, they still do to a certain extent. But society definitely made it that way, and that was difficult to navigate through. Like just going into certain stores and
nothing was for
one
you.
Teeny tiny section that says plus size. Like, oh, this is where I have to go, and everything is tragic. Like,
I hate that. I hate that they think that plus size girls have to look. Yeah, like they stereotype us. I hate it.
You look like you belong in a farm.
Yes.
Yeah, or you turn butter.
Everything has a big flower on it, an extra pocket. Like, I'm already big.
I do like a good pocket.
Yeah, a good pocket, but not an extra pocket. It's a difference.
I do not need
How was it for y'all growing up?
When I was growing up, it was definitely different. So I grew up Catholic, and I went to all-white school. Oh. So you had to wear uniforms. Mm-hmm. Now, you were given a certain uniform, but of course, if you don't fit the body type that uniform was for, so then you have to go outside of, like, have to think outside the box. So we couldn't shop at all the other stores that all the other kids were shopping at. I had to get special, like, tailor-made uniforms for myself, or had to go shop at places that were specifically for adults. So, being a child and growing up with that mindset that, well, you don't fit in here. Right. And you certainly don't fit over here. So, now you have to kind of figure out, I mean, it started right from there. Like, who are you? Yeah.
What about you, Keidi?
I was actually small at the top and wide at the bottom, hips and butt. Very awkward. Still to this day, even though I embrace my curves, just coming into a room, like, it was more sexual for me. Like, guys would just stare and, like, gloat at me as a child.
Yes.
And it just was so uncomfortable. Like, absolutely uncomfortable. Like, I hated it.
Yeah.
You know, and like we said, when we were, like, 14 and 15, I'm talking about wearing bathing suits, and guys would be like, damn. And I was like, no. Yeah. Like,
you're right.
You know,
and I feel like it takes away your innocence. Good. Like, it's very weird, you know, because unfortunately, if women get assaulted, the question that is asked, like, what is she wearing? Yes. Right. What is she doing? It's like, bitch, I'm existing. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Just trying to be
like,
in my body.
Exactly. And so it's like, as someone who's, like, hormonally unstable, and for someone who is trying to navigate, like, who I am, what I am, you know, who am I in this body, you know, and you have guys in your face like, oh, can I touch your boobs? Or, like, try to grab your ass at the water fountain. Like, I think people need to realize that in order for us to have respect for one another, how about we stop treating people like objects and treating people like human beings?
Yes, absolutely.
Agree.
Because that, I think, is gross that, you know, men are groomed to be pervs. And women are groomed to be in the house and covered and quiet.
And just to accept it.
And just to accept it. And it's like, no.
We definitely keep rape culture alive and well. Like,
thriving.
Everything about this society perpetuates rape culture.
It does.
And it's disgusting.
It is. Because it's like, by the time I was in the 6th grade, I was a 36C. I will never forget I could wear my mom's bra. And I was going to school, and this girl, it was picture day, and she made a rumor that I got breast implants. And I'm like, bitch, how the fuck am I going to have breast implants at 11 years old? How? Where will you sign that up at? And this is before the Kylie Jenner surgery of the world. Like, back in 2000, like, you can get no fucking breast implants for no child? Like, what?
You could not.
And then when the rumor came out, people were like, can I touch your breasts to see if they're real? Like, even if they were fake, bitch, do you think I would let you invade my body that way? Like, people literally were, like, lined up like little kids to honk. Honk, honk. So growing up, did you guys have any representation to help accept your body and to feel like you weren't left out or felt alone?
No.
I'm the only one. So I remember when J-Lo first came out, and I forgot what song it was. It was her very first single that was popping, and she was naked in the shower. And If You Had My Love, I think it was that one. And I remember I saw the bottom of her butt cheek. And it excited me, not because I wanted her ass, but it was the first time I saw a woman with hips and ass be, you know, have some type of popularity, like, on TV. Mm-hmm. Like, I've seen women in my family, but, you know, that shit don't count. Mm-hmm. But it was the first time I seen someone that was, like, famous, that had thighs, who had hips, who had butt. You know, even though she's not a black woman, it was so good to, like, see some woman of color be able to have some representation of that. But when I was younger, what was that store called? Not Limited 2?
That was the store.
That was the store. I couldn't shop there. I had to shop at Macy's and Hex. Mm-hmm. And I was in this very weird limbo phase, because when Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera decided to, like, dress like sluts, all the children clothes, like, mirrored that. And my mom was like, you can't go to school looking like this. Like, why are they even having, like, these low V-cut, like, shirts for 12 and 13-year-old girls? Like, that's inappropriate. So I had to wear, like, some of my mom's old clothes that she couldn't fit anymore. We had to go to Macy's, Hex back then when it was still around. And I was so embarrassed because it was like none of my friends had to go through that. Like, they were able to shop at the cutesy little, like, girly stores. I mean, I might could get, like, a top. But, like, I was already, like, in Express and shit, you know, at 13. And I didn't see not one girl my age, like, shopping in adult stores. So I felt like an alien.
That struggle was definitely...
It's real, like, and I just don't think people understand.
Everything was husky,
like, with a shoulder pad.
Like, it was just so bad. Middle school started getting a bit better, and then high school, thank you, sweet Jesus,
the people started catching.
Learners came.
Yes, learners.
I had a place.
Yes. You did have a playlist.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I just felt completely left out. Because it's like, if girls weren't envious of me and little boys weren't trying to hump me, it was like there was no place for me to just be my individual self. It's so either I'm being teased or I'm being sexualized. I'm either being teased or I'm being sexualized. And that was the issue. Like, what's the middle? Like, how do you find anything in that?
I don't know. There's no middle.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're growing up, because kids are harsh.
Yeah.
Kids are assholes.
They are.
Yes.
They are.
Yes.
Especially now.
Yes.
I couldn't even. Yeah.
Saying now, like, kids have to be lucky if they can even survive.
Middle school was horrible.
Middle school to high school. That has to be the worst time.
Hardest time. Yes.
There's no way in hell I would ever go back to high school.
How bad was it?
So, high school was just stupid.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
just say that. It was stupid. It's not. I wasn't picked on or anything like that. It's just that you don't have any. I didn't really have any friends.
And it's like you're still trying to figure out who you are.
Mm-hmm. True.
So you're in this weird space because you don't really know what you should be looking for like good quality friends.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because you also still don't know who you are. So it's kind of you just accepting whatever comes your way. And that is super difficult. That is very, very difficult. I think even more so for young girls.
Yeah.
High school, middle school was...
It was trash for me.
Yeah, I had a lot of great times in middle school, but I got picked on a lot because guys liked me, and then their girlfriends
would hate you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happened.
And then my mom told me that was her experience as well. So I'm like, we need to end this generational curse right here with me. Yeah. I'd be damned if that's gonna happen with my kid.
But it's hard when you are genetically disposed to something and you have no control. You have no control of, like, your hormones. You have no control of how you're going to sprout out. Like, you have no control of that. But I think for me, culturally, it was, like, one, you know, I either had to, like, stay in the house. And I've always been a very outspoken, rebellious, you know, big-mouthed girl. But it made me very uncomfortable to be in certain spaces because I knew that if I were to be myself with the body that I had, people would misinterpret that as me flirting, me being sexual, you know, and that wasn't the case. I was just being myself. But because people have this very weird preconceived notion when it comes to sexuality in girls, which is a whole nother topic for another day, it created a very uncomfortable space for me to thrive, you know, and it was some girls who would befriend me so the guys could like them too. They were using my body as a way to get to little boys. And I'm like, damn.
Yeah, and we don't understand how that shapes, like, your mentality as an adult.
Exactly.
At that age, you have no idea the experiences that you're going through, how that will really shape who you become as a woman.
Yeah, you have
the
trust issues.
Insecurities, all of it. Like, we just don't even get that.
Did y'all experience fat shaming in your family?
Child. All the time.
I did.
In black families, I feel like it's a thing. Like,
yeah,
it's and you're supposed to be okay with it, and you're
exactly
supposed to accept that everyone is ridiculing you.
It's a very weird thing because, like, in my family, it's like low key shade. It's not like, oh, hey, Rasputia, but it's more so like a.
Please, not Rasputia.
But it is more like a, hey, you sure you won't wear something like that?
And it doesn't happen anymore now as an adult, but well, I would say it doesn't happen anymore. Maybe within like the last 8 years.
Damn, that's still pretty recent.
But that's because that exactly. And now I'm also just like, fuck you.
That's the mentality, yeah.
Because this is my body. I fully live in it.
Yep.
And also, you got black toenail, and so you can't talk about me.
Well, that failing liver.
But to your point, I didn't see anyone on TV who looked like me, so I had to become that person for myself.
Yes.
I had to. And that's who I am now.
Did you guys experience fat shaming in your family?
I remember my mom saying, like, you're getting too big, you know, and I'm like...
How did it make you feel, though?
I think she was jealous. Honestly.
She wants your thickness, bitch.
Well, she was taller than me, which I wish I was now.
I don't know you tall. You get bad knees. And I like my knees.
I don't know. I just feel like she wasn't me. That's how I felt.
Yeah.
I felt like, but it did hurt to hear my mom be like, "You getting too big."
Yeah.
And then I hate to be embarrassed, like still now as an adult. So like, if you want to tell me something, pull me to the side.
Then you know black people not good for no pulls to the side.
If my hair not right, like pull me to the side. Excuse me?
Oh no, they gonna embarrass you as soon as you walk in the house.
Yeah, no, please pull me to the side. Please.
You didn't experience that at all, Steph?
Because I was just like...
You are blessed.
Yes,
God. No, not for my family. But everyone in my family were already larger. And and we're continuing to get larger as I was growing up. There was never a time in my family that anyone ever said that you are too big.
Mm-hmm. Well,
if that ever came from anybody, it would have been from my pretend friends at that time.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
I think I would rather hear it from my friends or my fake friends or my frenemies, whatever you want to call them, than my family. Because when your real family is supposed to be a protected and safe and sacred space, and the fact that I'm existing in this body and the fact that you don't accept me as how I am, like, how am I supposed to live with that mentality in society?
Yes.
Like, how am I supposed to, like, live with confidence and be brave and be fearless and be the baddest bitch in the world when the people who have the same bloodline as me shit on me?
Yeah.
Yeah. That is like
I will never forget
the complexity to that.
It's crazy. Like, I really wore a crop top, and they were like, no, mind you.
So you know,
I'm a good. I was wearing my crop top to that. Yeah, but it's like, how does my fat make you uncomfortable?
I don't understand. Like, am I mad that you dating a loser? Am I mad that you got 29 kids? Okay. Nope. Because guess what? It don't affect me.
Right. Yeah, I think it's just a weird space, and I think if we're gonna progress as people of color, we definitely need to stop ridiculing people so much about their outer exterior and start working on people interior, because you can be skinny and you're mentally fucked up.
Yes.
So your skinniness does not make you a good person.
No, it does not.
And your cholesterol can still be high.
Look,
you still can have diabetes.
Yes.
Your heart still can be fucked up.
Yes.
You know, because there's a lot of women who are skinny, who have hormonal issues, who can't have children, who have a whole bunch of issues. And it's because their internal organs are fucked up.
Your body is, you're just not healthy enough to bear children.
Exactly. Yeah. But my fat should not make you uncomfortable. And if it does, it's a reflection of how insecure you are with whatever body that you have. Because, bitch, I'm fine at whatever size that I would like to be at. But I don't like the fact when the shade is like, honey, do you think you should be wearing that?
Or maybe you shouldn't eat that.
Or maybe you should, like, cover up around your waist. And, like, no. I like this fucking outfit. I paid for it. And you gotta get the fuck over it. I mean, unless you want to buy me a new wardrobe, I am definitely down with people paying for stuff. But if you're not going to invest, bitch, don't come unless I send.
I think for black women specifically, because, I mean, I always reference that because that's the only thing.
Well, that's what you are.
Right. Like, I ain't got
Can't speak for anyone else.
And nothing else. But I think for us, it's kind of like, how dare you be confident in your body? It's
yes.
It's that kind of thing. And I talk a lot about that with my brand. Like, we have to stop doing that. We have to stop doing that to ourselves. We have to stop doing that to our children, because it has been happening to us decades and decades, and to our ancestors. Like, we've never had the full autonomy over our bodies. Like, when are we going to understand that we are continuing to perpetuate some shit that ain't had nothing to do with us from the jump?
Absolutely.
Yes.
So speaking of which, like, now that we're in this space of social media and we have Lizzo, who I actually do love. I love her confidence. I love what she represents. I mean, she has a lot of little faux pas here and there, but whatever.
I think Lizzo's a good artist.
I think she's a good artist, but I think she's a great representation of what a larger, curvier, thicker, whatever you want to call yourself, woman is.
Do you think she's a great representation?
Right. I think she's a representation that mass media has accepted for now.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think a great one.
Why don't you think she's a great one?
Because I feel like she overdoes everything. As a plus size woman that allows the people who already stereotype us as plus size women or thick or whatever, they're still bashing us or looking down on us because she's doing way too much. Why are you at a Lakers game with your butt out?
Yeah, me and Marquis
Like,
talked
I mean,
about that
it's
before.
A bit much, you know, like.
And that's for any size.
Weighing plus size, you can look amazing.
Yes.
Like amazing.
Child, 'cause
I do it every day.
I look.
Okay.
Love.
Every day, 24/7, 365.
Okay.
I hate to tell you,
Like
but
you don't, you could have did anything else to bring attention to yourself. But why that?
Do you think that's just the plight of where social media is going in entertainment in general? Where you have to be bigger and bolder and more out there for people to be like, oh,
to be
who
noticed.
is that? Okay. And even if it's not, they're not speaking about you positively. If they're still talking about you negatively, you're still in their mind.
Yeah.
You're still in their thoughts.
True.
I think that has a lot to do with it, especially, with the platform that she has. I definitely think that everything that she does will be extremely scrutinized.
Absolutely.
Yes, I don't care what it is.
I don't care what it is.
But that's because of the things that she's put out there,
Yes.
I feel like.
But remember when Monique used to be like the face for plus size women? What do you think the difference is? Because I don't remember
And they drug
Monique.
baby sis.
Yeah, but they haven't. I guess social media, but I feel like Monique didn't get the same amount of grief that Lizzo is.
Because Monique was fat and funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do have to have those two ingredients.
You have to.
So in order for fat girls to be accepted, they had to be funny? Is that the...
At that particular time for her.
So now we've evolved to being extra. Where do we
Yes.
stand?
You have to figure
All
that out
fat
for
girls aren't
yourself,
extra,
though.
right?
Like, you have to figure that out
All plus
independent
size girls
of
or
social
thick
media.
girls or whatever you
Yeah,
want
but
to be
see,
called.
I really like Monique because I felt like she really embraced... She was naturally funny. Like, some people are just naturally funny. I don't feel like her weight gave her that extra spunk that she needed. It was just like in addition to.
Yes.
So I love the fact that she was able to be who she is and actually be funny at the same time.
Yeah.
And the thing about Monique now, is some people like say she traded, she's skinny. No, she's not. She's still a
nice.
plus size
Yeah,
woman.
she is.
Just trying to
Absolutely.
prevent, from getting freaking heart disease.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
it. Like, I work out often, but it's not because I want to be skinny, because I know I'll never be skinny.
Right.
I just kind of don't want diabetes. Like, that's
Right,
it.
exactly.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
I kind of don't want to die from heart attack.
Just don't want to.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but that's the thing. I'm like, how is she skinny? She's still considered plus size. What are you talking about? She's just no longer
But that's the
27, but
ignorance.
she's
They
18.
don't know.
Like,
They don't know.
Is that like other thick women saying that?
yes, thicker women that was probably around her size felt like she betrayed them in some form because she lost a significant amount of weight. But sis is still part of the community. Like, she hasn't left.
Yes.
Now, if she looked like she was a size 4, then we can have a different conversation. But she would look crazy.
Like,
Yes,
Jennifer Hudson.
absolutely.
And Jennifer Hudson looks amazing, but that was an extreme slim down.
That's debatable.
Yes.
I do not think she looks amazing.
You don't.
I don't know, something about her clavicles. I feel like they're just too small. Like, some people when they lose weight, they look sick.
Yes.
And then some
I
people
agree. Yes.
Oh
I agree.
God. But she got the surgery
Who's Star?
Yeah, but she had to
from
because
The
she
View.
she had heart disease.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean you have to be skinny, because her eyes were like bulging out of her
They were
head.
always bulging.
It got worse when she started losing weight.
That may be a
wasn't true.
thyroid problem, though. Like
Fine,
surgery.
that is a real
Like,
life
yes,
thing.
it is.
No,
So,
and that is
but-
the thing. She would
No.
have hyper, because hypo is slow. So yeah,
Okay.
she might have hyperthyroid.
Which means that
Her metabolism is like on steroids. Hypo is
I
like,
need one of those.
no, you don't.
I mean, just in the middle.
Because then
Just
your
a
eyes
little
start
bit.
bulging out.
I just need like a little dash of hyper.
No.
My grandmother had thyroid issue.
Was it
Hers
hypo?
slower.
Yeah,
No,
it's the
hers was
hypo.
slower.
Yeah. And that's the whole nother thing. Like, being a larger person, people have like these misconceptions of like why you're fat. And it really bothers me because it's not everyone at this table is either dieting or working out. And you would think like, I know them bitches eating fried chicken on a regular basis. And that's actually not true. Because Marquis is like pescatarian. She's not having any sugar. Keidi is over here
shit
drinking
is
a gallon of
boring.
water, not drinking alcohol, which is really
Yeah.
depressing.
That shit is
No
boring.
sweets, no snacks.
No, and it's like,
Same.
and it's like you never know when to catch people in their journey. So that's why, like, I was kind of offended when Jillian Michaels had said something about Lizzo, and I love
skinny white girl.
The one who has a six pack.
The trainer. Mm-hmm. Oh God, she's skinny and white. Why are you talking?
With a very, very strong face. Like, her face has muscles.
Man face.
And mind you, I like Jillian Michaels. She has great workouts, especially her buns and thighs workout. I would recommend that. However, my issue is they were talking about Lizzo as an entertainer, and then she says, like, why are we, we could focus on the music, I like her music, but, she's unhealthy. And it's like, how do you know? You trained with her?
Right.
You're her geneticist? Like,
right.
do you know, like, if she has an autoimmune disease?
Right.
It can be anything, So for you to comment on that and you never even worked with her, I thought that was very rude and offensive.
And let's just tell
absolutely.
the unpopular truth. Some thick women are okay with being thick. Like they don't want to change if you 300 plus, whatever. If you're good with that,
that's all that matters.
Okay. Why is it anyone else's concern? Just like if a woman is extremely small and that's the way she chooses to be, okay.
Right,
like
Janae
Aiko, she's extremely small.
Yeah, and nobody's throwing biscuits in her face.
No one.
Right.
Yeah, but but no one's telling her, like, oh, Janae, she is very carb deficient. Like, we need to make sure she's upping her carb intake.
Yes.
Like, no.
No one is doing
no
that.
one is doing that.
Nobody
but it's like,
is
you see
doing
Lizzo and they
that.
like, oh, well, maybe she should cut back on the sweets. Bitch, you don't know what.
And that's the difference.
And that's the double standards, because it's like, you think that bigger women are unhealthy and you do not know the struggle that they're going through, or it's no struggle.
Right.
Bitch is just fine living her life, her best life.
Okay.
Like, there's so many beautiful women that are out here who are bigger, who do not give a flying fuck about.
And it's men out here that love us. Love
Yes.
every
Girl.
curve.
Yes, but the issue with that, to be devil's advocate, I don't like the fetish part of it.
No.
I don't like.
Don't be a creep.
Don't
Absolutely.
be
Do
in
not
my
be a creep.
inbox, like, trying to get with me, and then on
You
your
want
social
sniff my
media
rolls.
page, like,
Right.
oh, you a lie. Why you lying?
Right, like, don't keep me a
Thank
secret.
you.
Like, you want all this fluffiness, but then when you're around your homeboys, you're like, oh, I don't fuck with fat bitches.
The lies you tell.
Like, yes, you do.
Wait a minute. Yes. Okay.
Like, your whole face was just in this fupa.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Speaking of Fupa challenge, because I speaking of Lizzo, to go back to that, because Lizzo and Meg Thee Stallion,
They got that?
Is that a thing?
I think I just made something up.
Yes.
Ladies, let's do a Fupa challenge.
I don't wanna. I don't want mine.
I just want to know what is the criteria.
Right. What is
You
the
just gotta have a
challenge?
fupa.
Absolutely.
Well, this is the thing.
If it fits in your leggings, then I think you qualify.
It's just like an extra kangaroo pouch. Like, it's just like, if you had a fanny pack, it's just without the zipper. It's just like that little piece above your vagina.
This
Yes.
belly done came a long way.
But I was thinking, like, Meg Thee Stallion and Lizzo is almost the same height. So they are big girls, like, as in tall.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't say anything about Meg Thee Stallion. They don't make fun of her. They don't say anything about her. They don't say about her body.
Because her body is appropriate for what they think is sexy.
But Meg Thee Stallion is still plus size.
Yes, absolutely. She definitely is plus
Meg Thee
size.
Stallion is, yeah, like,
She
what
definitely.
You think Meg Thee Stallion is a size 5?
and she ain't
She's
no 5.
definitely-
She every bit of, like, probably like a size
12.
Yes, she definitely in double
like
numbers
her
for
ass
sure.
in general will just put you in the
A whole
plus
nother
size
space.
category.
Exactly.
sure.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, to be discriminatory, like, who is considered a good plus size and who is considered a bad plus size is ridiculous to me. Because
Yeah.
Meg Thee Stallion is definitely plus size.
Yes, she is.
But she does not hardly get ridiculed, and she is naked majority of the time. And I don't have a problem with that. She twerking, she being a hot girl, she driving boats. I don't give a fuck. But I just don't like the fact that they scrutinize Lizzo the way that they do when Meg Thee Stallion is far more naked than she is and gets applauded for.
Lizzo is normal fat girl
Body.
appearance.
Okay.
Yes. Meg Thee Stallion is commercially accepted fat girl. And it's
Yes.
because
What commercial?
I'm talking about
hip hop commercials.
Okay.
Because not in the white world, they'd be like, "Oh, she's way too big."
No,
small waist, big boobs, big butt, thick thighs, not
but it's so weird because it's so many black women that I know who have an extremely small, teeny, tiny waist. Like, I feel like that's a staple for us.
Yes.
Me, every one of my family, you. Because I peeped that thing when I came in, like, ooh. she me. Like,
right.
I get it. It's so many black women that are like that, but because everything else may not be the standard of like what other people consider sexy, then you're a big girl, you plus size, BBW, whatever it is that you want to call it. But our bodies are just so multifaceted. Like, you're not gonna find one black girl that all looks the same.
Absolutely.
No,
none of us are
Right.
skinny. Petite, whatever.
Right.
Like none of us are. Or
We
whatever.
fit multiple
and we
categories.
have to, yes,
Multiple categories.
we have to accept that. That's why I'm actually getting ready to go into the plus size, embrace us more. And I mean all plus size women of all shapes. If we got big boobs and no ass at all, it's fine.
Right.
But I'm clothes, lingerie, all of that. Really lingerie. Because
yes, we want to be sexy. Don't nobody want to be
Yes.
no fucking silk moo. That's not sexy.
Absolutely
It ain't
not.
at all.
And I want to embrace other thick women to be that way.
You should.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So speaking of that, when it comes to the fashion industry, even though they're starting to give us a space and a lane, do you still feel segregated?
Yep.
Yes, for sure.
So
For
do you
sure.
hate the fact that when you go online, it says woman, men, kid, plus size?
So,
Yes, go for it. Barkia is my stylist, everybody. So she dresses me. So she definitely is the person to talk to about fashion stuff.
So yes, I am a personal stylist, and I also, my brand focuses on and having black women and black girls embrace their body more and be more in tune with their sensuality. I think that's super important because we just need to control the narrative of how we want to present ourselves in this world, because so many people do it for us.
Unfortunately.
With that said, when I initially got into fashion, I was just so excited and so eager, and I wanted to do all the shoots and just help with everything. And in the process of doing that, I noticed how we are so segregated, and we are thought about last on the totem pole. It is super annoying that you do have to go into sites and click plus size. Like, that is like, so I'm not a woman.
Right. I'm a
plus size.
I'm a plus size.
Like, that's what you demote me down to.
I'm a plus.
That is super annoying. But in the fashion industry, just being very real and honest, a black woman's body will never be accepted.
No.
Will never be at the top of the totem pole in regards to getting funding, getting resources, getting fashion houses. That just won't happen. So I appreciate more and more every single day when I see black owned lines that are created for like our bodies. Because I can't tell you how many black girls I know thick girls who I know, myself included, like, I might can wear a small and medium top, but this ass is a different story. And I need something curated specifically for that. And we have more options now, but it's not something that is accepted across the board. When Tyra Banks first started, America's Top Model first started airing, and she had her first plus size, who was it, Takara?
Yep.
Y'all seen how she struggled with every single shoot. I remember one time they had to find something like really quick. She had on a fucking muumuu.
Yep.
Because that was all that could fit her body on the rack, and that was an issue, and that wasn't that long ago.
No, it was not.
It wasn't.
And I just don't understand, like, I can appreciate the Fashion Nova curve. I can appreciate Shein, Boohoo, Pretty Little
The list
Things.
goes on.
And I appreciate
Everybody
that.
got it.
Forever 21, all those people. Just put it under woman. I don't
That's
need
all.
my own separate fucking category.
That's
and
all.
why is it that, what the smaller women have, I don't need a whole nother separate design. It's the same fucking material. Just buy extra. Like, in the margin cost that you're paying for that, we're not even going to talk about your outside labor costs and what you are really
And what
paying
you're
for
really
your
paying.
material. It does not make sense for you to pay an extra 50 cents to $1 to make sure that all women of all sizes are being represented. I think that they should.
Especially the quality of the garments that y'all are selling. Like, you can definitely include it. And I know why they don't. It is literally just to make more money.
So how do you feel like the fashion industry has offended you? Or are you offended the way it's set up for plus-size women?
Well, for plus-size women, I feel like that it's just a second thought. They don't really traditional stores, we'll say.
Yes.
So traditional stores like Sears, Old Navy. Some people shop at.
Navy?
Some people shop at.
You gotta get the Rockstar jeans, girl.
Walmart or
Target?
Sometimes Target too, where it's when you go into one section, other section, and you say, "I like the way that this dress looks." But if you try to find the same dress
In another size
or in the plus size section, then it just looks like a giant box or something.
Yes. Yes.
And you're like, I'm not shaped like a box.
They do not embrace our curves. Yes. I hate a plus size graphic tee. I am not square.
Right.
Like, embrace these curves, honey. This small waist.
Yes.
With these big boobs and these big arms. Because I hate them.
Because, I mean, I feel like with smaller women, you have a very eclectic group of clothing. So it's like, for that little bit of more material, you just can't. Right. You know, like, you just won't.
No,
they just don't. They just don't. Like, you know.
Yeah, it's very strange where, like, the proportions are all off.
Yes.
Too. Where...
Oh, I'm sorry.
I mean, like, you'll get a T-shirt, like she was saying, and it'll be super long in certain areas, and you're like, why are the armholes like this big?
Yeah.
What was that for?
So to you, Steph, I know that you didn't mention. However, offline, you're engaged. Have you already started looking for dresses? Are you having that dilemma? Like,
I haven't even crossed that bridge yet.
Okay.
But I would suspect that I most likely would be having those issues. Because I do. I mean, obviously, by the way that I'm shaped, I carry a lot of my weight in my hips, which means that you're going to have to find a dress that fits this section, but then when you get up top, it's going to be
much
out
smaller.
to here. Or it could be smaller.
Right.
Good stuff. So my question is really, like, who's designing the plus size clothes for us?
Nobody.
Just with proportion wise, so I think
they are, but not really.
We need to. Maybe we can find a way to be a designer, get behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Forever 21, different stores, Target, Old Navy, because I actually shop for my jeans at Old Navy, the Rockstar, and I mean, I guess that is one section, but they fit amazing. I would embrace all thick women to try the Rockstars at Old Navy.
I haven't shopped at Old Navy in forever.
I just hate, even with the extra fabric, they put an extra pocket or a big flower. Why can I not have just that simple, T-shirt? That bothers me a lot.
You need a flower.
Yes.
You need to cover up your fat. Here's what we're gonna do.
But that's like actually bringing more attention. Like, no.
Yeah, because you have a big ass flower close to your nipple.
Exactly.
So of course it's gonna draw attention.
Like, what's going on?
For plus size women, out of shame, like, oh, she would hate her body, so let's make this for her, because who would want to show that part about themselves?
Which makes sense, because when it comes to lingerie, and like he was saying, like stuff that's actually sexy, it's gaudy. It looks like something your grandmother would wear, and it's like, I want to look as sexy as the smaller women. I want to wear thongs. I want to wear see-through and sheer and lace and all that good stuff. And so it's like, why can't we have that? Like I said, they're starting to do that, but it shouldn't be a niche. It should be a norm.
It should be
absolutely.
Yeah, and that's what it is.
Are starting to do that. Like, I appreciate Fenty, because it really is totally all size inclusive. Like,
I do like Fenty.
She has super small. What's her name? Lala, somebody, the actress girl, really skinny, and then,
Milan.
Yes.
The comedian, yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. She'll have her, and then on the opposite end, she'll have a plus size model who's like a size 30.
Yeah.
But I love that because that's what women bodies really look like.
Yes. But be inclusive. It doesn't have to be a niche. It doesn't have to be like a corner market, because it doesn't make any sense to me, because the average size of a woman is 14. So why aren't we catering to the average population of people? So it's like we're still catering to a certain size that isn't the norm for our country. But we also do not cater to those in need, especially like being stylish. Yes. You know, it's like, yeah, you make something for us, but if it's a silk muumuu, like, sis, like, I can't do this. Or, sir, I cannot do this. Yes. You know, and I think there needs to be more plus size designers and not smaller people making stuff for plus size people. Yes, because they don't know what we need. Like you said, we need that variety, whether you have large breasts, whether you have a smaller waist, whether you have a fatter ass, bigger hips, smaller like it's real on this side. Like, you got to be able to fit all of it. But if you are a smaller person and you're trying to think of a plus size person, it doesn't come from the same authentic place.
It does not. Absolutely not.
To play devil's advocate a bit, I just want to mention, if you are plus size and you're creating for plus size women, you're not going to cover everybody's side. Even then,
you're right.
You won't, because everyone's body is just hella diverse.
Yeah.
There's
True.
no possible way for even a plus size designer to include every single possible outcome of what a woman's body will look like.
Well, you can start with at least one.
This is true. However, yes,
like, I'm not
I mean, they would be more,
all.
Open-minded. They would, try. I believe at the least.
Like, okay, if you have a strap, like, make the bitch adjustable. Like, make stuff that has more stretchy material. Because, like, with me, like, this jacket is a size small. I am not a size small in real life, but certain things fit my body differently. So it's like, okay, what material really works with a one-size-fits-all concept? Build from that. And then you can kind of, like, of course, like, you're not going to fit everything, but I feel like it just is more inclusive to people who are different sizes when you actually use materials that, people can get more usage out of. But like I said, as a, plus size women or men, like, design your own shit. You know what I mean? Because people will not treat you like a priority when they don't understand the struggle. They don't understand the financial struggle, because you don't even want to know how much my bras cost for these things to set up. You know what I mean? Like, some women can go to Walmart and get like a $4 bra. Like, if I don't want my back to hurt, it starts at $50. You know what I mean? So it is a different type of struggle and a different way you have to, like, utilize materials, because if you never been through it, you just have no idea. You know what I mean? So
that's very true.
Yeah, we just need more inclusiveness. I don't need a whole separate section for plus size. Like, I want to go to women, I want to go to shirts, and I just want to be able to find something that's in my size. It's very simple.
Just for having plus size people in designing rooms. Like,
yes.
So y'all doing your lines for whatever season.
Yep.
Start having more of just a wider variety of fucking bodies in the rooms, so you can get that input. Yeah.
Yeah, people need to be behind the scenes. You can't wait till the product is finished to then adjust.
And they'll be like, we're sorry.
So I actually want to talk about some of the misconceptions that people have for thick women. I'll start. I hate the fact that they think that thicker women are lazy and unhealthy. I just think it just bothers me so badly, like we were talking about. Like, you really don't know what people are going through. It can be a mental health issue. It can be a genetic issue. It can be a disease issue, a hormonal issue. And you don't know what part of their journey you're actually looking at them at. Because some women might be bigger, but she just lost 60 pounds. And you don't want to discredit her journey for putting all that work in. She might just, lost her baby. She might just had a baby, or lost a loved one, or she's hormonally, unbalanced, or she has an autoimmune disease, But like I said, like, all of us are healthy, but if you look from the untrained eye, you would never think that people are busting their ass to get healthy.
Very true.
What you got, Markia?
I mean, just a quick story. So I had just, beginning of the year, you do all your physicals, that type of thing. So I met the doctor, and she's just like, you know, I really want you to really concentrate on losing weight. And I wanted to be like, big.
Okay.
She was like, I really want you to be.
What you think I've been doing, sis?
Right. She was like, I really want you to be under 200 pounds. So right now, I am like fucking stuck at 210. I'll go between like 207 and 210. So I am trying like everything possible to get under 200. Not to appease her ass.
Yeah, fuck her.
Because like you said, it's a journey. And for me, it's one that I know I'll always have my entire life. I can never stop this because I'll go right back to 270 pounds.
Yep.
So when she's telling me that, I'm like, oh, you don't know that my ass was big as shit before, and I had to work hard as hell to get to healthy big now, bitch. So now you playing with me.
Yep.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Don't say things like that when you don't understand what someone has been through to get to where they are. And I'm just not a person who, I have a really good diet 90% of the time.
Yep.
And it's just, you know, my genetic makeup. I have to work a bit harder, and I have to do things in excess to get to where I need to be. But I just think, like you said, I think that's crazy because you don't know that I have bust my ass
To get to
Where you need to be and where
Yeah.
you want to be.
Yeah.
Where you want to be, right?
I want to be there.
Yeah.
For me, I want it like a solid 190. I'm good.
Yeah.
Because I'll still be comfortable with my body. I won't feel like I have to go so hard all the time. At that point, it'll just be me living in the lifestyle that I've created for myself. So that's where I want to be. Her ass talking about that's where she want me at. I guess, you know, just for health purposes. But I'm like, sis, you just ran on my blood work. I don't have high blood pressure. I don't have cholesterol issues. I don't have hypertension, like none of that. I'm not borderline getting diabetes. Like, we good.
Yeah.
Right.
What about y'all? What misconceptions do you think we have?
I think sometimes people will perceive thick women as being promiscuous, or they want to overly sexualize them in any aspect. When you're just trying to be yourself,
Yeah.
you know, you're just walking down the street. Nobody wants to be hollered at.
Oh, I should have told you what happened today.
Honking horns and people pulling you aside like, you got this, you got that, you got somebody, you got that. I'm just trying to go to this store.
I just want to go get some pants from Walmart.
All right.
Right.
That's
Right.
it.
Right.
Well, I can take you out. I can take myself out, and I am.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, somebody told me they were going to bite my butt cheek today when I was walking to the car. He asked me if I needed help with my bags, and I was like, no, I'm good, thank you. And he was like, is there any way that I can, you know, take a bite out of that? And I was like, crime? And he was like, no, your ass. And I was like, that was the appropriate answer to say. But I was just like, what the fuck? No. Like, what gives you the right to talk to me crazy like that because you see my body? And I'm not saying it's not your right to be attracted to it. However, don't confuse my size as somebody who would think that level of approaching me is appropriate.
Okay.
Yes, God.
Yes, no.
It's so disrespectful. And
Yes.
Because I don't hear any man say, hey, yo, skinny bitch, can you come, you know, no.
Like, yo, with the bones. Come here. they not getting that.
Yeah.
And it is so annoying. Like, if I started to, I was toying around with the idea a while back of just, like, kind of vlogging just one day in my life.
Trust me.
Because when I'm telling you, I get catcalled
All the
so
time.
fucking much.
It's ridiculous.
I could have on baggy sweatpants, or I could actually present myself in a manner that, you know, I actually gave some effort. It does not matter.
Nope.
I still get the same.
I
amount
can't
of
hide
attention.
this.
And I don't mean just catcalling. I mean my personal space has been invaded so many times. Girl, I was in a market, and this man literally followed me from aisle to aisle to aisle. Like,
wow.
that is the type of thing that I had endured.
Did that
probably,
East
like,
Baltimore not come out of you? At that point, did it not come out of you?
I was trying very, very, very hard, but I did end up cursing him out and the old man that was outside. But I mean, I get this shit so often.
Yes.
And people expect it to be a norm, you know, and it's almost like, hey, girl, like, it's almost like this connotation where it's like, I'm supposed to accept this because my body is this way.
This guy told me that. This guy was like, come on, like, why are you acting like this don't always happen? It does, and it's annoying. How would you feel if somebody did this to you every day?
But it's inappropriate, and it's like, how is it that my body is giving you a signal to approach me in a very disrespectful manner, and it makes the other person uncomfortable? Like, why are you soliciting sexual activities because of the roles I have on my body? That doesn't make any sense to me, and it's disgusting.
It is.
You know, and it's like, I really don't see, I'm not saying that for smaller women this doesn't happen to, but it does, but I do not see it on the scale of women who has thighs and butt and hips and things like that. Yes. I feel like it's a little bit more extreme, especially the way social media is set up and the way they idolize these thicker shapes now. Mm-hmm. But it has to be in a certain way. Yes. You can't have a fupa though.
Yes.
You gotta have a Kim K, surgically inclined body.
In general, having a vagina is fucking hard.
Yes, it is. That's why I had to stop saying, like, stop being a pussy and change that, because pussies go through a lot of shit. They give birth.
Yes.
We just we bleed every month.
Girl,
it's just a whole
high maintenance.
It's a lot.
Keep it at the right temperature.
You do.
I gotta
give it the right amount of bacteria.
Okay.
Exactly.
The right amount of attention itself. Yes.
On top of the physical butt weekend waxing that you gotta do, so you will have a full-time 70s bush.
Talk about that.
You gotta. I mean, it's just a lot to invest in. So
yes, it is.
Keidi, what do you feel like the misconception is?
Self-esteem, low self-esteem. I think I was speaking with you guys earlier about just working in a group home and working with teenage girls, and there was one young lady in particular who was there, and she was on the large side. She was a young girl, though. She was maybe about 15. And just the other girls around her in the house, they would all go outside together, and they would be around the boys, and they would smoke and do all kinds of things. And then when they come back, they would just talk about her. And I feel like it had a lot to do with her self-esteem. Like, she didn't love herself, Right. She, like, they would say she would, like, give oral sex to these guys, and they would let them record her, and she would just have sex with anybody. And I feel like it had a lot to do with her weight.
Yeah.
The stereotype that people make plus-size women, being promiscuous, just not really caring about themselves. And for me, I love myself. I love me, and I'm not promiscuous. I don't want to sleep with every guy. If I'm not attracted to you mentally and physically, you have no.
But that's the thing. If you want to have sex, you should. But sex should be on your terms and not on someone else's.
Yes, absolutely.
If you want to fuck 1,000 niggas, great. But make sure that's you. You that's call the shots on that. Yeah. You don't fuck niggas to make yourself popular or make the guy feel better because your self-esteem is so low. Like, I don't do what the hell you want to do, but make sure you do it for you. Like, I don't care. I really don't. But I think it's really sad that guys think that way, because it's like, because of the way you look, you probably can't get someone as good as me. So this is as good as it's going to get, and so you should submit to that, because nobody's going to love you and accept you at the size that you are. And let me tell you, I fuck niggas up in real life. So there's no way that I would allow somebody to disrespect me in that manner. And I pray that other women will start loving themselves unapologetically and authentically, so where you don't feel the need to disrespect yourself in any form that you don't want. Whatever you want, get it. But whatever you don't want, it's a no. And that's a complete sentence.
And that's it. Like, that's the period.
That's the period.
No period, no explanation, that's it.
Because no is a complete sentence.
Whether you're big or small, somebody's going to have something to say.
Yes.
It will be another issue for another day, and it's just always going to be a thing. But if you good, fuck them.
Yes. So I just want to thank all of you for joining the panel discussion. I hope that we can keep this conversation going. You guys can DM me at BLT Podcast. And I really want to fight the stigma against larger women. I really want us to stick together. I want us to love each other more and embrace a sisterhood. It is not a fight to the finish. It is not a tear each other down. I don't care if you're Lizzo, Rebel Wilson. I don't care if you're Monique. I don't care what you are. Just love who you are. And even if you don't like it, because we're all trying to lose weight, in the process of me getting smaller or bigger, I'm going to love all this shit regardless. You know, so don't think that you're automatically going to love yourself if you're a size 8. You know, you're supposed to love yourself no matter what the process is. Yes. You know, so thank you. Oh, quick shout out to all the people that is moving the culture, who are plus size models or in the industry. Leessence, Ashley Graham, Iskra, Tabria Majors, Jill Scott, Anaya Lamise, Missy, Nao, Sheila Marie, Denise Mercedes, Sierra Rogers. Like, I just want to put these women out there who are really putting themselves on the forefront, who are beautiful, who are sexy, unapologetic, you know, and really embrace their curves and their bodies. So thank you. So for our astery for today, this is going to piss all of y'all off, so just be prepared and hold your purse and your pearls. So Elijah has a major crush on a thick girl. He really likes her a lot, but is embarrassed to ask her out because he doesn't want his friends and family to make fun of him because she's a plus-size woman. Elijah, go fuck yourself.
The end.
Like, if you are still worried about what your mama and your daddy got to say, you don't live for you. And I'm pretty sure your happiness doesn't exist.
Yeah, he's not comfortable with himself.
Yeah, because
clearly
that ain't the man that I need.
Hello?
Exactly.
Because you ain't going to be able to...
That girl, she deserves better than you. So don't even waste any of God's precious minutes in wasting her time. Don't waste her daytime or her nighttime minutes playing games, because it's, if you don't really fuck with her like that, it's kind of pointless.
Yes.
So if you want to date somebody and they have to meet you outside of 7 o'clock when it's dark outside, that's not the one. So Elijah, I hope you can date within the size that you like. And if you really, really like her, before you even fix your mouth to say something to her, like, you need to self-reflect on some things. Because if you're so pressed and worried about what other people got to say about you, then you need to figure out, why are you so desperately seeking other people's attention and not your own self-validation? So before you get any pussy, I think you need to worry about yourself first. And I don't care what size it is, because it sounds like you got a lot of issues going on.
And a little dick.
Probably so. So for our words of wisdom this week, it is, low self-esteem is like driving through life with your hand on the brake. And that is by Maxwell Maltz. Look, love yourself. I don't care what you look like, what your race is, what your size is. Like, you can't go through life expecting people to love you if you don't love yourself. It starts with you. You can't give it to nobody else, and you can't get it from anyone else if you're not even putting that energy in the universe. So you have to make sure you do the work and make sure that if it is an issue, get help. Talk to a therapist. Talk to your pastor, your priest, or anyone that you feel like you can trust. But just make sure that you're not clouding your space with fear and negativity and self-doubt, because you will not thrive in any space. You will not thrive in any relationship to do so. So I want to thank everyone for coming. I appreciate all of you, and I will see you next time.
If you can't get enough of the Bitch Let's Talk, you can always follow us on IG and Facebook at BLT Podcast and on Twitter at Bitch Let's Talk. If you want more content and updates on the show, you can always go to our website, bltpodcast.com.